WWF thing are so close to the real thing. It's like being in the ring.
When I was a kid, I loved WWF wrestling. There weren't great superhero movies in the theaters yet, and this was the closest you could get to tuning in every once in a while every week and seeing real superheroes and real bad guys duke it out for morality, for the women, and for your entertainment. Today, I get to revisit something from my childhood and bring it into my children's childhood. The WWF 1991 Hasbro Wrestling Ring. Well, my youngest son is 6 going on 7 now, and he's recently started enjoying watching classic WWF wrestling with me. I can't say I'm complaining. It is a lot of fun to reminisce and just watch these great old shows. Woo! Some of these rings without characters are $300. I was thinking maybe we'd just fix one up that looked like it was beat up. And this one came from eBay with Hulkster, Jake the Snake Roberts, The Ultimate Warrior. Let's see, we got Honky Tonk Man with his original guitar, or Fat Elvis, as many of us referred to him as. Good old Roddy Piper, crowd favorite. Superfly Jimmy Snuka with his legendary top rope action. Of course, Macho Man Randy Savage, the very best. Big Boss Man, missing his nightstick, but whatever. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, also missing his 2x4, which we can probably make. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Of course, the Bushwackers, awesome. Ted DiBiasite, $1 Million Man. That's pretty great. But this ring, not so great. It ain't bad, it's all here, but look how warped it is. Definitely sat in some kid's window for a long time, or whatever. Oh man, that has been played with. The ropes are trashed, turnbuckles are missing. It just needs freshened up. And for the price it would cost to do a full-blown restoration, it's just not worth it for an item that you can buy for $300 brand new in the box. But to freshen it up and make it nice for my kid, that'd be great. It even came with the very rare and hard to find championship belt sitting ringside. Yeah, this is a cool ring. Definitely well used, definitely well played with, and we're hoping for it to be well used and well played with in this house. So, I got online and started hunting for parts. First thing I did was reach a guy who said he could make custom ropes for this ring if I sent him the dimensions. He said he was familiar with this one and had made them many times, and so I ordered some. I also ordered some extra turnbuckles that I found from somebody who just had pieces of a broken ring they were throwing away. That's enough parts for me to make a functional ring for the kid. That floppy bottom's got me concerned. I think we'll probably have to heat it up and flatten it out. Also, that'll keep the sides from pulling in. As you can see, they're pretty warped. At this point, I guess I'm just going to disassemble it, take off all these ropes, pull off the turnbuckles, maybe even try to take these posts off the corner of the ring and give it a good cleaning. Well, everything's pretty caked with old, gross dust. The decal's holding on pretty well, and I'll probably just have to leave it alone. Maybe I'll order or make a new one someday. But for now, I want to size these ropes, and oh boy, my first wonderful surprise. These custom ropes are too thick and too big. Great start. But on to the cleaning. I'm going to do about everything I can to not get these decals too wet, although they seem to have held up through a lot of damage over whatever years I didn't have this. But still, I don't want to make it worse. I don't want to make them peel up. Of course, to get all the stuff out of the little cracks and nooks and crevices and strange spots, the toothbrush is going to have to do the work. There's just nothing else that's going to get down in there like that. And of course a thorough drying to just get the last of the filth wiped out and to make sure there's no residual moisture sitting around getting those decals. I found somehow strangely that this pair of scissors was the best tool to compress those little fittings at the end of the turnbuckles and pop them out of the holes. I'm going to remove all 4 of those. And then I think I'm going to give the turnbuckles and these 4 post corners a good washing. A wipe down's not going to be enough for these. There's just an amazing amount of fine dust caked into all the little nooks and crannies again. So I'm going to get out some Dawn Power Wash or whatever this stuff is, and I'm just going to scrub this stuff out. I don't know why, but this was one of the funnest parts, scrubbing all those little WWF logos, and also, of course, scrubbing all of the junk out of the places on the posts where the turnbuckles connected. It's nice when you can take something so gross and bring it back to this nice, shiny, clean plastic. Look at how nice and clean that is now. That feels a lot better, instead of just handing my kid dirty parts. I'll just rinse the rest off real quick here. And it's time to move on to one of the parts that was a little bigger for this, is how warped the platform is. You can kind of see it there. So this is actually a fairly low temperature plastic, and a heat gun probably would have been a little too aggressive. I was able to just work with the high setting on this hair dryer, which gets pretty darn hot, and just put weight on it gradually in the center and slowly work it down flat. In this time lapse, it's about 20 minutes worth of time, just slowly working and heating the surface, and I took out probably 75 to 85% of that concave in the ring. Still nice and warm. I put a little more weight on it off camera there, and as you can see, the bottom's nice and flat and doesn't rock and squeak anymore like it used to. Also, the platform of the ring is now nice and flat. So, I contacted the guy from eBay, and he never responded. These ropes were totally wrong, and they were quite expensive. Anyway, I have to come up with a new solution for that. Like I said before, I feel like when I was a kid, the ropes were elastic because we'd launch the wrestlers at each other across the ring. But these are dried out and rotted and tied together, so there's just no way of knowing. However, I want it to be elastic. I hunted and hunted and hunted and finally ended up at Hobby Lobby, and in the sewing section found this little pack of elastic rope that works pretty darn good. I could not find red, white, and blue elastic rope anywhere, even online, in the right size. So, this was my next best option, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Let's see what we got going on here. Of course, I'm going to stretch it around all the turnbuckles, give it a little knot, and then insert the turnbuckle pads and place it over the top of all of these until they sit nice and snug. After making 3 identical loops and making sure the flat side of these ropes were all faced the same direction so there weren't any twists, I could finally tie knots on the end of them and go ahead and start installing them onto the wrestling ring. Finally down to the last one. All that's left to do is maybe at some point find a little American flag to stick in the corner, But that's not going to hold this back. After all, I was rushing under the wire to get this all put together in time for Christmas. And as you can see, it turned out pretty good. Those ropes look great. It's nice and clean. It isn't looking like some piece of junk that you just ordered and slapped in your kid's lap. It's fun, it's special, and they know that I worked on it. I'm really happy with the way this all turned out. It's a good functional toy without a lot of money into it. It's something that's going to hold up. And of course, all these action figures make it a lot of fun. And doing the elastic ropes was the right touch. Now I could look forward to hours of hitting people with guitars, throwing dudes over the top rope and flexing hard, clotheslining Fat Elvis, flexing it out, maybe tearing off a tank top, going off the top rope with Jimmy Snuka.
Nice
That was
shot.
good.
It was good.
And of course, launching off those elastic ropes. That is the highlight of this project. And it's going to be a lot of fun for the kids. Oh, can't forget choking them on the top rope too. Classic move. I hope you had fun. I hope this gave some of you good memories and nostalgia. I'm very excited about it, and it's a fun addition to our collection of classic toys here at home. Over the years, maybe we'll find other parts to make it a more authentic restoration, but for now, it's something to play with. Please like, comment, and subscribe this video. I do reply to every comment, and I'd love to see you in future videos. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope you had fun. God bless.